I'm sure most of you recognize this officer who was at the center of a number of news stories last year, the first of which being the arrest of a 16-year-old autistic girl in her own home, where the officer believed that comments she'd made were directed at her and were of a homophobic nature. The reason for today's video is that the IOPC has reached its conclusions in respect of a voluntary referral to them following a complaint made to the police. But first, let's just have a brief recap of that video, which I'll link below.
She's made a comment in her own house. You've got her on camera. She hasn't said anything to you. Don't matter. She never got cameras on. She's getting arrested. She's getting arrested. Why are you doing units coming? Don't worry. She hasn't done anything. She's autistic. I don't care.
So this argument went back and forth for several minutes and obviously caused distress to the girl, resulting in the complaint to the police, the referral to the IOPC, and of course the video went viral and hit all of the news. And I covered it here on this channel as well. So today a report released by the IOPC makes several findings, some of which sort of absolve the rest of the officers, which I'll come to in a minute. But first goes through exactly what happened, explains that it was a voluntary referral from West Yorkshire Police following the complaint made. The video footage showed part of the arrest, which obviously went viral. The investigation looked at one of the officer's actions and interactions with the girl on the night to determine whether they were appropriate and proportionate in line with police training and policy. The IOPC said that they established that officers were called to Leeds city centre, this was what happened beforehand, to a disturbance involving the girl, and officers made the decision to take her home rather than make an arrest. But once back at the home address, the evidence suggested that a potentially homophobic comment was made by the girl, which the officer believed was directed at her. The evidence identified that the comment made was not as reported on the short clip which appeared on social media. As a result, the officer took the decision to arrest the girl in relation to this offence. They concluded that West Yorkshire Police officers at the address, on the whole, did attempt to de-escalate the situation, and the level of force used appeared to have been appropriate in the circumstances. So what they say is, on the whole, the police did attempt to de-escalate the situation. However, and this is where it doesn't expressly say, but it suggests that it is this one officer, says, however, we did find that some of the language used by one of the officers towards the girl was inappropriate and not conducive to de-escalating the situation. I think most people agree with that. That reflects comments that I made at the time, that it was certainly not de-escalating the situation. In fact, we did a lengthy video discussing how people with autism should be treated to de-escalate a situation, and we didn't believe that was the case there. Obviously, the video attracted significant public concern. The investigation, they say, looked at the whole picture of the incident, and they decided that the officers should now work with their supervisor to reflect, learn, and improve from what occurred to prevent this from happening again. They say, we also felt that a letter of apology should be sent to the girl and the family in an attempt to remedy any dissatisfaction. The force agreed to the suggestion and has written to the family. And as part of the inquiries, investigators obtained accounts from the officers involved and reviewed body-worn video, which is something that I said that they would do in the event of a complaint. We also considered the officers' actions against the local and national policy, procedures and guidance. And at the end of the investigation, the report was shared with West Yorkshire Police, who agreed with the findings. So that is ultimately the outcome of this story, a letter of apology and a little bit of training, which I do believe, if I may say so, is what I and my learned friend Alan Robert Shaw said probably would and certainly should happen. No doubt Al will have his thoughts and comments on that as well, which when they appear, I will link below. But do head over and subscribe to Art of Law, linked below, so that you can wait for that. Hit the notification bell as well, both here and there. That will pop up alerts of new videos. And if there's anything more interesting, we will come back and talk about it together. But in the meantime, let me know your thoughts and comments below. Do you think that's enough? Do you think that it was right that they've sort of absolved the rest of the officers, which this report appears to have done, where they say, on the whole, the officers appeared to be de-escalating the situation, but one of the officers, and it doesn't expressly say, but I believe it to be this officer, didn't do so. And so what do you think? Do you think that's enough, a letter of apology? And perhaps you think it is and we should all move on. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the box below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.